So people got a bad habit of telling me to do things that I'm already doing, giving me advice that doesn't work. Um, it's difficult to explain to somebody who's so hell bent on giving advice. They're just not listening. Like my conversation with Todd, he very much wanted to give me a lot of advice. Tell me that I should get a hobby. That's great, you know. I've got hobbies. The thing is that I can't function because all of this stuff that I've been through, it goes through my head all the time. And I need some peace and quiet in order to be able to process it. And nobody understands that. In the jails, that was probably the closest to peace and quiet I ever got. And when I was in Clearview, I was starting to write in there. I was trying to rehabilitate my wrist, and it was right here, of course. But them drugs, they fuck you up. They fuck you up mentally, and it's long term. And every time they did it, it made it worse. I can't just magic that away. I had a magic wand. I really did. And I mean that literally. That's not to say that it was actually magic, but yeah, I made some magic wands for Chelsea Worthing because she is totally into Harry Potter. But then there's the having to, you need positivity in your life. Everybody does. With Todd, like he was saying, with me bringing him down with my constant negativity. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to get you to shut up and fucking listen. And I'm trying not to be an asshole about it. I need you to listen. Like, he was busy through most of that telling me how to think and how to feel. And that's the thing, is that he has a lot more control over his situation than I do. He's able to see his loved ones. He's able to work. He's able to see my loved ones. People were so busy giving me advice but not listening. You know why Zayd Atkinson got that money? Because he had a lot of help, actual help. He had the help I needed. He had support. He was able to stay in that area and not be victimized by the public. He wasn't stuck out with the homeless being victimized by the homeless. The way that I was painted, the cops just loved getting their hands on me. The way that he was painted, yeah, people, as far as the cops went, yeah, they left him alone. They had to. They were being scrutinized. By the time Tim got a hold of me, I'd already dealt with so much of it. I mean, I was tired of it. With most of the other people that were being dickheads, I talked to them nicely. With Tim, I was fucking sick of everybody's shit. And I definitely didn't want that guy getting a hold of me. And even knowing that he's a fucking child molester, even knowing what he put fucking Natalie through. Like, he tries later on, and when I get to that part, you're going to be able to get to see that, where he's blaming everything on Joy Moreno. Like, no, dude. You don't get to blame that shit on Joy Moreno. You're the one that fucking stole her dog. You're the one that held her down and fucking screamed in her face over your fucking dog. When I was in Virginia, he was threatening to shoot himself in the head. The shit that you guys were accusing me of. Tim Beeson was doing those things. He was pissed off because somebody else was getting his vagina. He saw Natalie as a fucking possession. I saw her as a friend. And to be treated like I'm Tim Beeson or Ted Bollinger, like, holy fuck. Hell no. I hope Ted spends the rest of his life in prison, but Tim needs to be there too. Tim needed to leave me the fuck alone. Now, in some of these groups, Tim Beeson was threatening people with knives. I didn't need people threatening to fucking stab me. I didn't need people fucking threatening to shoot me. And we'll get to those too. Those are here. Just a lot of fucking work. People keep telling me to let it go. I can't. I can't let it go. Not as in I don't want to. I need these people to let it go. I need these people to leave me alone. But they're never going to unless I can get an honest fucking court date. All of that shit that I recorded with Katie Cahill and Alyssa Rainwater and Mandy Hughes and Aaron Cockerham, Cara Rogers, that shit would have helped me to get an honest court date if they'd have come forward about it. But they didn't. They procrastinated. I wasted my time and resources on people who procrastinated. That disability money was supposed to be to fucking take care of myself. But I needed help. I needed a fucking caseworker who would actually help. And you know what? After Tamara quit her job, I haven't had that. I can't trust Jen Beebe. She's not going to keep her fucking word. She's not going to write that shit down. She's not even going to get back fuck a hold of me. And yeah, Jen Beebe fucked up too. She did. When I was in Scottsbluff jail just before Christmas, Jen Beebe came in and talked to me. She told me that she was manipulated by the police. I had tried to reach for their gun and tried to suicide by cop. You got to hear that conversation with Todd. They did the same thing to Mobley. Like I fucking said. Of course, it means more coming from Mobley. I didn't have the support that any of those people had. When Betsy Prowell was assaulted in the same way that I was, she had her dad. Her dad cared about her, and she's a cute little white girl. So she played the hell out of that, and she knew exactly what she was doing. You know, it's not he was ignorant of it. I mean, she was even typing, shit that where she's really trying to play on that. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was trying to manipulate for sympathy. And yeah, that's how we teach girls this day and age. How do you manipulate men if you're a cute female? The thing is that with everything that was going on with Natalie, they needed to fucking get involved. The police needed to get involved. With Tamara, like, she was working with me. She really was. But after realizing what the fuck I was going through, what I had gone through most of my life, and fucking, yeah, her son, she didn't want him to have to go through any of this. And that was before Natalie was killed. She quit her job well before Natalie was killed. And while I was waiting for a new caseworker, I mean, I'm going through fucking hell. And I'm waiting for a new caseworker, and it's just not happening. I mean, Tamara, I think she worked with me from like October to March, and I think it was March of 2017 that she quit. Right around the same time that I was dealing with that shit with Tim Beeson. Right around the same time that I was talking to Ken and Leah, and Ken's like, "Hey, you should move down here." That time, the first time that I yelled at Shannon Alvarado, that was probably our fifth conversation. They were never conversations. It was always her claiming that she was going to listen. Then I'd call her up and I'd end up doing all the listening. And on sorry, not the fifth, the third call. And she couldn't find the time and couldn't find the time. And then when she finally did, she just wouldn't shut up about herself. Well, the third time, I'm here in Chapel, Nebraska. She's telling me I should go to the library. At that point, I've been to the library repeatedly. I've been to the library here in Chapel. They're not open every day. Being able to get their internet outside, it's not working. People are telling me, well, hey, you should go to the library if you need internet. I'm going to the library. They're not open. And then on the days that they are open, there was always some fucked up situation that would happen. Like my vehicle getting stuck with a fucking blown tire in Colorado, and I need this car. I'm going and talking to Bob Long every day. I'm going over and talking to Sean Jepson trying to get a spare tire. Between Bob Long and Sean Jepson, I went through like 4 spare tires trying to get this fucking vehicle back here to Chapel. Dan Faber sent me the money to get new tires for my vehicle. Or, well, a new tire. But, I mean, at least I was able to get the tire. And I was glad for that. And all these people treat me like I'm ungrateful. No, I wasn't ungrateful. But the help that I needed was for them to come forward. And many of them said that they tried, but nobody would listen. That's why you go in together. That's why I show it here on Facebook and on YouTube. My head feels like it's going to explode. Like the reason that I was getting so stressed out with that conversation with Todd is that I'm needing him to stop giving me advice. When I had that conversation with Shannon Alvarado, it was literally 30 times that she was telling me the library thing. I'm like, Shannon, stop, 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 please stop and listen, please stop. All this constant negativity, Todd says. Constant negativity. That's the thing, is that I'm in Chapel, Nebraska. Whenever I went over to Aunt Bee's to talk to her, it's constant negativity. When I went down to Laura Nelson's, it was constant negativity. I made things positive. And now, like, yeah, it's not something that I can just magic up anymore. Especially with all of these people who claim that they love me and promised to help me and said that they cared. And I have to say the same thing over and over again because they're on alcohol or they're on meth or they're on coke or they're on ketamine or whatever else. And I gotta try to do this through constant noise. I gotta get all of this stuff done through constant noise. I mean, it's be by myself or deal with negativity, and I'd rather be by myself, but I can't afford it. I can't take care of myself. And I try to explain that to these people, and they all tell me, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I can't. I can't. I need to be able to heal up from what's happened. And all this constant negativity prevents me from being able to do that. All of this constant noise prevents me from being able to concentrate. When I get a few minutes to myself, which really I don't get, that TV is always going. But when I get a few minutes to myself, I try to sit down and meditate. It's not like I'm not making the effort. And as far as hobbies go, I mean, drawing pictures, I used to love that. Helping people too, building things. I mean, all throughout this, I tried to set aside a budget for things that help me. But even video games, I can't enjoy them. I'm using them to drown out the constant noise of murder on TV. And the whole time that I'm playing, I'm like, I need to be working on my case, but that is even more overwhelming. I don't even like my fucking video games anymore. The whole time I'm playing them, I'm frustrated because I'm playing a video game. I need some peace and quiet. I need some goddamn peace and quiet. I just need peace and quiet. Shannon Alvarado screaming the whole fucking time I'm there is not peace and quiet. I've had one shower since Christmas. I usually use water therapy to help me to calm down, and it does help. But I don't have access to that. I don't have access to any of the things that help me. Video games would help me if I had some peace and quiet and I could just sit and focus and enjoy it instead of using it to drown out all this noise. And Todd's talking about 10 years down the road, maybe 10 years down the road. No, not 10 years down the road. Please kill me before then. I mean that. I don't think Alicia Bollinger is going to be alive in 10 years. I don't. And I absolutely have to be dead before she is. I absolutely do. I cannot live longer than Alicia Bollinger. I can't. I can't. It's my advocate. She's let me know she reached out to Social Security on Monday. See, that's the thing, is I was getting disability. I just needed one friend in town who was positive. Just one. Let's go do something fun. Let's do something fun. Those of you with kids, you get to play with your kids. There are so many parents like, fuck, if I had kids, I'd be playing with them all the fucking time. That's positive kids' laughter, and you guys we get pissed off at them for laughing. You get pissed off at them for playing. They're not allowed to be fucking kids. So here's what Meg typed. She typed, oh, it's at 11% now. Nice. And it's looking like my YouTube video should be ready in, this is 1 hour remaining. Fuck. See, it's giving me a headache trying to read the screen. You got no idea how fucked up this is. Alright, if it doesn't have her phone number, then I can show what it says. It says, hi Sean, I reached out to Social Security on Monday and wasn't able to get a hold of anyone before they closed. I called again today and spoke with the Scotts Bluff office. They couldn't tell me anything specific to you because of privacy, so you'll have to call them. Either you can call them on your own, or I can try to patch you through so both you and I can talk with them at the same time. That's the best way to do it. I'm in meetings almost all day, but I have 30 minutes now. Do you want the information so you can call them on your own, or do you want me to try to call with me? Please call with me. Like a lot of people, when I try to tell them what's going on, I need them to listen, and they're busy a lot of times telling me stuff I already know. Like with that call with Todd, he was telling me about Mobley. I already know about Mobley. I was trying to work together with Mobley. Mobley threw me away like I was trash. I didn't need to hear a bunch of stories about a bunch of other people. I needed somebody to listen. He's not a bad dude. The thing is, his friend, the hairstylist, that's Ted Bollinger. Alright, Meg's gonna call them and try to patch me through now. If they ask for personal information, I'm gonna walk away from the screen. I'm typing thank you. Ah shit, my phone is almost dead, so I won't be able to do that. That kind of fucking sucks. cup is separating. It's got an internal part and an external part. I also gotta call Mandy Hughes, or Mandy Singer, and I also gotta, I think her name is Sierra. Let me see here. It's on my Facebook here. My phone was at 2% when I plugged it in. It said it'll take 7 hours for it to charge. It's at 11% now. So it is what it is. Sierra, that's her name. That's right. Oh God. As far as pain goes, I can take an ass whooping. It's all the sheer quantity of bullshit that goes along with it that fucking kills me. I'm not allowed to defend myself. You know, if somebody wants to assault me, I have to just take it. I can't fight back. If I fight back, then I get in trouble and they don't. And if I don't fight back, well, I might still get in trouble and they won't. Uh, uh, Still at 11%. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Here's how you should think. Here's how you should feel. You should do this. You should do that. Hello? Hey. Hang on 1 second. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God. I'm going to the calls. Hang on. Yes, ma'am. 9. I'm glad somebody knows how to do that. Please hold. Yeah. I am looking forward to talking to you. All of our representatives are currently busy. When call volumes are high, your wait time may be up to 15 minutes to speak to a representative. Thank you for holding. Someone will assist you shortly. Please remember to have handy your social security number and any recent mail that we may have sent you. Having this information will help us serve you better. If you want to file for retirement, disability, or spouse benefits, please remember that you have the choice of applying online. For more information about Social Security, including forms and a complete list of online services, I do. Please visit us online at www.socialsecurity.gov. I can't hear you over it. Scammers impersonating Social Security employees over the phone. Scammers are using or in obtain more information. If you suspect you have been scammed, hang up immediately and contact the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271. Yes, ma'am. My phone's at 11% charge, so because the music, I might not be able to hold a conversation. I'm sorry. That's okay. I'll just ask us questions. Yes, ma'am. It'd be nice if we could turn off the elevator music and talk while they're offline, but that elevator music is just. Thank you for holding. We appreciate your patience. If you want to file for retirement, disability, or spouse's benefits, or if you are just looking for information, you may want to visit our website at www.socialsecurity.gov. There you will find important information about your benefits and our procedures. For many people, doing business with Social Security online from the comfort of their home or office is the fastest and most convenient way to receive service. God, my back hurts so bad. I can make it go numb by kicking something real hard 2 or 3 times, but I mean, that is just an excruciating amount of pain to have to put myself through to make it go numb. I feel like I'm about 4,000 degrees. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your patience. If you want to file for retirement, disability, or spouse's benefits, or if you are just looking for information, you may want to visit our website at www.socialsecurity.gov. There you will find important information about your benefits and our procedures. For many people, doing business with Social Security online from the comfort of their home or office is the fastest and most convenient way to receive service. Thank you for holding. We appreciate your patience. If you want to file for retirement, disability, or spouse's benefits, or if you are just looking for information, you may want to visit our website at www.socialsecurity.gov. There you will find important information about your benefits and our procedures. For many people, doing business with Social Security online from the comfort of their home or office is the fastest and most convenient way to receive service. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Thank you for holding. We appreciate your patience. If you want to file for retirement, disability, or spousal benefits, or if you are just looking for information, you may want to visit our website at www.socialsecurity.gov. There you will find important information about your benefits and our procedures. For many people, doing business with Social Security online from the comfort of their home or office is the fastest and most convenient way to receive service.
Meg? Meg?
Yeah,
I gotta use the bathroom real quick, but my phone has to stay plugged into my computer, so I gotta run downstairs real quick. If they get on while I'm downstairs, just keep them busy. It'll be like maybe 2 minutes max.
okay, okay.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Social Security, how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling with a person that I'm an advocate for who is trying to get their SSI benefits reinstated after an incarceration. And he had to step away from the phone for about 20 seconds here. I'll be right back. To give you his Social Security number. Definitely. And then, was he going back to the Scottsbluff area? He's in the Chapel area, so I think that's where he's going to stay. And actually, he didn't have anybody to help him get this back a year ago, so he's been out of benefits since 2018. Oh, might have terminated. Normally, if it's in a certain non-payment status for 12 months or more, they'll terminate the benefits, and then we'd have to just reapply. Okay. You know what the zip code there is? I can find out.
Alright, I'm back. I'm back.
Shandina, the zip code Chapel.
69129. I gotta get my disability reinstated.
Okay, I think he's looking something up. That's not common. Your Social Security number.
Alright. God, my head feels like it's gonna explode.
Oh no, did I lose him? Oh. Fuck. We lost the guy. Let me call. Darn it. Let me call him back and I'll hook it up.
Yes, ma'am.
Hang on. Bye.
Alright, let's see if that pin will work. I'll write down. By the time we are in the video, it sounded like they were talking to each other when I was coming up the stairs. So I can hear what they said. Oh, that Sydney Police Department needs a ticket. Oh my god. We don't have any Advil in the house, so I'll write it down while I remember it. Well, it's fresh, then I can remember it because it's written down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys who are watching this, what they were saying when I came up the stairs? If you could type it for me so I could. This one was long enough to smoke with it. I happened to roll it out of the pipe. Meg typed, I'm calling them back, then calling you. It says there's 3 viewers, but I guess you guys, 2 viewers now. I guess you guys can't type nothing, or maybe you didn't hear it, or maybe you're just some of them assholes. I don't know. It don't make any difference. I hope you're good people. I just. In 2015, when I hurt my back, that's when I fucking cracked mentally. And I'd seen it before. I'd seen people go through that before. I saw Sam go through it. He went from a intelligent, fun-loving guy who just happened to be homeless, but he was working. So was I at the time. To hurting his back and going completely fucking crazy. First, he hurt his back, and the cops wouldn't leave him alone. And then he was speaking out about the cops not leaving him alone, and they dragged him off to a nuthatch and injected him with them drugs, and he come back schizophrenic as all fuck. Had a plastic Walmart tablecloth wrapped around his waist as a skirt, and was wearing a fucking tube top, and like they flipped that dude's shit. They tried to do the same thing to me, and I mean, it kind of worked. They kind of fucking completely, well, they did completely fuck my head, but it wasn't just the drugs, you know. It was also the fucking incessant harassment. None of these people were understanding that I needed them to stop snapping me, stop telling me how to think and how to feel, and try to understand why it is that I feel the way that I do. All these people expecting me to not have sensory overload. I can't take care of myself. I can't. Having sensory overload, it's only under stressful situations. Like when it's not important, when it doesn't matter, then it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter when it's, just people shooting the breeze, shooting the shit, having a conversation, and there's like five people, I just basically sit back and listen because I can't join the conversation. I'm not going to be able to catch enough of it to join in. At most, I'll be able to catch enough of it to make some jokes. When I was in school, I did really well because, you only have one person talking at a time. It's the teacher or one of the students that they call on because the student raised their hand. Oh my God, my head hurts. Oh my God. My nose is so clogged. Oh, this is definitely not a cold. Oh God. Like it's a combination just starting to catch something and also being up all night and having a stressful phone call. Like I just see that's the thing is that if these people had left me alone, if they'd have stopped poking me with a fucking stick, it would have all been done and over with. The cops wouldn't stop poking me with a stick. Natalie's friends wouldn't stop poking me with a stick. If I'm gonna get treated like a child molester over you fucking wanting to pretend like I stalked you in Virginia, I'm gonna let you know what's going on. If you're not gonna do anything about it, well then we need to have something done about it. The I believe it was the second time, maybe the third time that I interacted with the police over Tim Beeson. Not that I interacted with them 2 or 3 times over Tim Beeson before she died, but it wasn't the last time that I interacted with the police here in Chapel over the situation. It was like one of the ones in the middle. Um, See, the thing is that, like Todd was saying, when police are going to do what they're going to do, ain't shit you can do about it. But there really is. You can work together as a team, like the Bollingers and their incessant harassment of me, especially after Natalie was killed. Like they worked together as a team. For me, I'm trying to get people to understand they need to talk to each other, and they're not. Like when Alyssa Rainwater and Miss Peaches, I tried to get them to talk to each other. Shit, they were calling each other names, calling each other bitches and shit like that. I was trying to get Caramia and Layla Johnson to work together, and Layla Johnson wanted to fucking be all hateful about Karamia, and Karamia wanted to be all hateful about Layla Johnson. They're both like, oh, well, if you're friends with Layla Johnson, then I'm not going to help you. And Layla Johnson's like, well, if you're going to be friends with Karamia, I'm not going to help you. And I was explaining to both of them, hey, I need both of your help. I had to explain to Karamia that, hey, Layla Johnson has important evidence. And I had to explain to Layla Johnson, hey, Karamia has important evidence. They're being fucking fucked up people. That wasn't my choice. That wasn't my decision. With Todd being all fucked up on ketamine after Natalie was killed, like that really fucked my head up too. Him screaming at his girlfriend every fucking day, taking her keys, kicking her out, taking her telephone, taking her keys, kicking her out. She'd go walk around Niwot for a few hours, and then he'd fucking come to his senses and invite her back. Next morning, he'd do it all over again. Of course, at night, fucking screaming and more screaming and more screaming. That's what drugs do to you. That's why I always stayed away from them. Hey, Meg.
And so I have him on the other line, and he needs to give you his social security number so that we can start the process.
All right.
Sean, are you in a private place where you can give this so nobody else can get it?
Give me just a minute. Let's hope my phone stays on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry, my head's gonna explode.
So, I can give you, I'm going to get off the so I can give you, have you asked the relief documents with the consulate office? No, we didn't know what the next steps were. So basically, what you'll want to do is I would want you to fax those documents because we need the release papers in order to reinstate. And then I would put on their current address, phone number, because when they reinstate, they're going to have to do a review to get his record reinstated. They'll have to call him and update remember all that good stuff, but they have to have the actual release papers to do that reinstatement. Okay, what's the fax number? Okay, let me look that up for you. Take a look at a different program here.
You see how many processes that this is? I mean, it's...
Yep, hang on.
This all takes so much time and money to get done. I can't do these things without that income. That's the thing, is that without that income, jumping through these hoops with no income, and it all takes money to jump through those hoops. Like I had to pull a lot of...
What's his zip code? His zip code 69129. And he is homeless, so he doesn't have an address. So his 69129? Yeah, that's the zip code of Chapel, Nebraska. So that's actually through the North Platte. So let me give you their fax number. Based off of his zip code, it's going to go to the North Platte office. Alright, so their fax number is 308 532 414. I'm sorry, that's 308 532 41 what? 3414. Okay. And so, do those documents have to have just, well, they're from the agencies where he was. Is there anything else that needs to come with that? A form or? I will put a cover sheet on it. We'll put a cover sheet on it that says like urgent, homeless, and social security number, phone number where he can be reached. Let him know that he needs to get back to the pay, even released. Because they'll have to contact him to do a review. Okay. And do you know if this was at the end of 2018 that he was released? Do you know if it was likely terminated then, or was it? It's not terminated yet. And it's still in 22. So okay. Okay, so we'll fax that today, and then since he's having me help him, do I have them contact me, and then I contact him and patch through, kind of like what I did with you? Yeah, he'll have to be on there to give him permission every time, but sure, for sure, information on there too. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. So thank you. You're welcome. Bye. Bye. Okay, Sean, I got to get on another call, but it's a good thing that they said it wasn't terminated, because sometimes after a year or longer, they'll terminate and make you restart it. She just stated that it is not terminated. So what I'm going to do, I'm on this call in 3 minutes, but what I'm going to do is fax those release documents. I've already made a copy for you, and I'll mail that to the post office in Chapel so you have those. And then I'm going to put my contact information on the fax, and it'll be the same type of situation where I will call them, and you're going to have to get on the phone and say that it's okay, I'm talking to them on your behalf. And then you'll have to be on the phone, and then we'll go through that process. So,
yes, ma'am. I got an important question real quick.
Sure.
There's some stuff that I got to get from the state of Colorado. They can't send it via general mail because it's a lawyer's office. So I have to have them send it to somebody. Is there any way I can have them send it to you and have you send it to me general mail?
They won't send it. Okay. Well, they won't send it to the guy you live with?
Well, that's the thing, is that as far as the legal stuff goes, he doesn't know anything about that kind of stuff, so he doesn't want to have to deal with any of that here. I don't understand it.
Let me see if I can get an address, like a P.O. box or something, that you can send it to, and I'll get back to you. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I will probably be talking to you again tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. lights mess with me so much. Like it just. I used to wear sunglasses all the time, but they kept on stealing my sunglasses or breaking my sunglasses, and that's all stuff that it doesn't take much to replace it, but to replace it repeatedly, it takes a lot. When you get a cheap, $5 these, oh, that does help out. Not a lot, but it does help. Um, but like cheap $5 sunglasses, they when you gotta replace them every week or two, like that's $15. And then when you gotta replace your earphones, that's even more. My earphones, they only one side of them works. I put both of them in to try to help drown out the noise, but this side doesn't work. It's all frayed. I had to glue it back together, and I just needed people to leave me alone, is all. And instead, like having people like Tim Beeson and people like that. Fucking, Tim wasn't the first one to harass me on the internet. There was like five of them harassed me on the internet, and none of the ones who harassed me on the internet actually followed their word. None of them followed through. I just needed it to stop. All those phones, they had so much evidence. I mean, I was telling those stories because they were true. And those phones were my proof of it. And I needed help with that. I couldn't stop somewhere and actually work on that. The one place where I could have, where I had my own place, was that place in Sydney, and I rented it for like a month and a half. I couldn't afford to go to my court dates and keep the place. I needed help, and Jen Beebe was supposed to help with that, but that's the thing. It's like, just like with everyone else, she was busy telling me what to think and what to feel and what to do, and not understanding my abilities, especially under stressful situations. And the cops capitalized on that, so did the Bollingers. Oh my god. I'm gonna try to lay down and cover my head up. He's been sleeping for long enough that the TV went off on its own, so I might be able to. But this house wasn't lived in for a while, so this carpet up here, it smells like mouse piss and mouse shit, and I vacuumed it, but that smell gives me a headache too. So if I go downstairs, though, I run the risk of, because I sleep in a chair, because we don't have any beds. Um, the chair's not comfortable. It's more comfortable to sleep on the ground. But if I wake him up, the first thing he's gonna do is get on his video game and turn on his streaming video, and then I won't be able to sleep. I'll eventually pass out. With a headache, it's not easy to do. Oh my god. Gotta make more phone calls. All these people being too afraid to come forward. I fucking ripped their asses for a reason. This abuse was allowed to continue because they never came forward. They didn't see the point. You look at Zayd Atkinson's situation there. That's the difference between the cops doing it once and getting in trouble for it, or them doing it repeatedly across multiple states. The police didn't have to call multiple states and say, hey, you guys should go harass Sean Schwartz. No, the first time they ran my name and saw that assault against a police officer, even though the charges were dropped, that's still there. And the cop sees that and goes, well, he's our enemy. He assaults cops. No, that was a dirty fucking cop, you stupid pigs. A dirty fucking cop. Boulder is full of dirty fucking cops.